Hey, thanks for joining me today. Three Oaks Recreation Area in Cary, Illinois. Just looking at the sky, it's pretty BA. There's just a lot of everything going on up there. If we watch long enough, we could probably see some aliens, but this video is not about aliens. This is about my 2019 5th gen 4Runner. This is SR5, and this is going to be my Molle panel and shelf review kind of thing, you know. It's not going to be an install video, but it's just going to go over some of the things that I noticed when I was doing this. This brand is called High Flying. It's on Amazon, and it is going for $299, and that gets you the right panel, the left panel. This is the rear of the vehicle, obviously, and it gets you the shelf in the center. Now, right now, that's actually one of the little plates that come on the shelf, but right now I have this included net over it, just tightened down here and there, little clips, and it just kind of keeps my backpack. This is just I don't know if you guys would use this on a overlanding type vehicle, but this is just, I'm more of a weekend warrior. We just go camping and off-roading and a little bit of junk, and it's nice to have this extra storage up here and the extra panels on the side to clip things to secure things. Right there is basically where I put my 5-gallon propane tank I got from Cabela's, and I can bungee that tank around it, and then I can bungee it to here, and that tank is just, it's not going anywhere. So it's nice to have just these little areas to be able to tighten things and secure things. This is my campfire stove, and I got a little clamp in here. Sorry if it's dark, I don't really know. I got a little clamp right here. This is one of the ones that actually came with the unit, and this is relatively new. I just installed this about a week ago. Yeah, it's really simple, and this one just, it just, when I have everything in the car, I can put this here, for example, and it's not going to fall anywhere. It's going to sit up straight, and I can jam as much as I want in here or as little as I want in the back, and it is not going to fall. So things like that. I got a little bag here. I got some tools in there, extra stakes for tents and whatever else I might need, and there's a little tool set in there too, you know, some metrics just in case I get into trouble, flathead screwdriver, etc. But yeah, I throw my Bluetooth speaker up here and a bunch of other crap that actually fits. If you take my hand, you can probably see how much, where I got the shelf now, how much clearance I have. It's probably from, you know, about the size of my hand. And you can, when you're installing this, you can actually put this shelf in a few different positions on the window Molle rack on the side here. You can see there's kind of screw holes. You put shelves, and I just wanted to give you guys a few tips or whatever in case you guys were hung up on installing this thing. So basically the upper bracket comes separate. So you get this upper bracket, this is on the right side of the vehicle, the passenger side. You get this bracket, you get the panel, which goes from here to there, and I'll show you the connection points in a moment. And you get the rack and the plates for the end of the rack to mount it to the Molle panel. Same with the left here. You get an upper mounting bracket, you get the window panel, and you get the, you know, the hardware to mount it here. And what's good about this particular unit, and I'm gonna sit in here for a second, you can see is a wing nut right there. Let's see if I'll take this down so I'm not irritating anybody. Can't see. Give me a moment. There we go. You got two little wing nuts right there. You can see those. And then where the panel and the shelf meet, you got 3 wing nuts there. So basically the upper wing nuts just attach the main shelf to the bracket, and then the bracket is tied onto the side panels with these wing nuts. There's a nut on one side and then the screw-on wing on that side. So it's, if you want to raise or lower or remove this shelf, it's simple, because what you have to do is just loosen those up, pull this, you know, the bolt from the other side. Same with right there, and then the two on the left side. And you can just lift this shelf out of here, and or raise or lower it depending if you need more space up top. But yeah, on the install, basically the upper bracket screws into like the coat hook here, or clothing hook, or hanger hook, whatever you want to call it. This one, I snapped the little plastic line, I mean not line, the cover off of it, so you're actually seeing the bolt right now. That was an accident, but it happened. It just kind of dangles there when you pull it out. So basically you just remove the bolt, pull that off, the mount goes in there, and then the bolt gets reinserted. So you're actually just taking that little hanger out, putting the panel in there, and then screwing the hanger back on, but the panel is now mounted there. And then it just kind of hangs right there. And let's see, and they're directional. You can see what you're looking on the left is towards the front of the car, and the right is towards the rear opening hatch. And you can see this is looking at the right side of the car, and the left side is longer. You can kind of see that. That's how the panel works. Each side is different. So the right side, you get the longer end, and then on the left side, the driver's side, you can see this is longer. So when you go to install these, just make sure you got the right one on the right side, something like that. And then the panel itself screws on to 1, 2, 3, 4 bolts up there. It's pretty simple, sort of. The instructions are kind of magoo, but if you put this panel over the plate, the panel itself has, I know it's hard to see, but probably can't, up there it's got like a threaded insert that's built onto this panel. Once it's on top, you take the bolt and you thread it in, you thread it in, you thread it in 4 times, screw it in there, and then basically you're tightening it up here. So this panel, this side panel, goes on top of this bracket, then the bolts go through. Dut, dut, dut. That's simple, you know. And then for the front side, you unscrew the factory mount. There's a kind of a connector there, and there's a connector right here in the back of the car. So there's one there and one there. Basically you just unscrew both the factories, and then this particular unit comes with like a spacer bar. If you see it, it sticks out from the car. You just kind of you thread that in, and then you bolt it on right here, and then that way you get the space from the car to here. You know, it just spaces it out. Once you tighten that bolt into that spacer, it mounts in there. Same with this. You get a shorter spacer for the back of the bolt, and then the spacer bar that slides into the front side is longer. Just keep that in mind. And then it comes with, I know it's impossible to see probably in there. It's like this whole surround is like a metal piece. It almost seems like it's a magnet, but it's got adhesive tape on one side. And you slide that over that, and then the adhesive tape into the plastic on the inside of there. I think it just supports that bar a little bit more. It doesn't really explain what it's for, but. And then under the directions, say the smaller part goes on top, but when I slid mine on, the smaller part, this is the wider part, and this is the thinner part, actually slid on the bottom perfectly, and it did that on both sides. So yeah, I mean, I didn't follow the directions 100% because like the big part wouldn't slide in through here because there was more space up here, so I just flipped it around, slid it in, taped it on, and then continued my install. Okay, and then what I didn't realize after I bolted this in is I have third row seating under there, and the third row seating seat belt just kind of dangled here like this, like dangling around. So what I did was I unbolted this and I slid the seat belt through it, so it's tucked behind it, and then once it's tight, it's not gonna go anywhere, and it's not in your way anymore. I'm not gonna remove this because I may use it from time to time, depending if I get anybody all the way in the back. Yeah, I don't know what much more I can say. Let me, I can undo this a little bit just so you can see. It's actually the shelf is 2 parts. You got a left and a right piece. And then the smaller section goes in the back. The section that's got this raised lip here, it goes towards the front. And when you're installing it, the picture is kind of wonky, and it doesn't really explain the bar that comes through here. The support bar that screws in, it didn't really explain it, so I originally threaded it through the bottom, and then I couldn't get this shelf to go in here at all. And then I just was thinking about it, so I took the bar and I put it on the inside of these 2 shelves and screwed it in. Same with the front. You can see the bar right there running across here. Once I did that, I was able to line up the shelf and get it to fit in here, otherwise it wouldn't fit in. And when you put the shelf in, once it's completed and you're going to mount it inside the car, you got to put the rear seats on just for easy access, and then you have to install the shelf through the front. So I built the shelf, and we just I had someone over here and it was me over here. We just kind of rotated the shelf in the front here, like in the rear seat, and then we put the shelf up here temporarily. We just held it up here, and then the other side was kind of down here, so it was at an angle, to get it to fit. And then we just raised one side, bolted it in, lowered the other, bolted it in, and it worked just fine. This is a cheap one. I don't want to say cheap. I mean, $299 is not cheap, but it's giving me all the extra storage I need and the extra mount points and the extra security I have for anything I put back here. I can just bungee it, and it won't fly around or roll around and stuff. This one, like I said earlier, was $299. It's in Japanese, so I mean, it fits for the car, but this one's High Flying. That's the name of the brand. It's probably a generic, a knockoff somehow, but $299. The alternatives were more expensive for a brand name, and I encourage you to buy brand name if you can. I don't know offhand who makes these, but I do know when I was looking that this is one of the cheaper versions. And I originally was looking at a set, I think it was maybe around 2 or 150 to 2, but it had the Molle panel on the sides, and then it had the panel that bolts onto here and runs across the ceiling. And I originally thought I was going to do that. That way I can mount fishing poles or run across the roof here, because you can do that. Once you have the bar up here, you can clip them here, and then there's some DIYs that people do, and you can check on the YouTube here. There's some DIYs that people run, like a expandable shower curtain rod or something over there is kind of a hack a little bit. That way your fishing poles, you can slide them up over that and they'll hang there, and then you can mount it. If you had the Molle panel here, you could clip it, mount it with one of these, probably one of these little brackets that it comes with. It comes with things like this, just a few, but you can buy extras. And the fishing line the fishing pole, would actually just mount up on the panel on the top, run all the way across, and it'll be out of the way for everybody in the car, which is cool. I haven't yet to do that. I might add that panel, but as of right now, I got no plans to do that. The fishing poles I have, I can actually show you what I do with them because they break in half. So the fishing panels I have, if you were to lower the seat, and this is the 3rd row version, and the fishing poles can tuck down here when the rod itself is detachable, breaks in half, it can go down here. This is where the 3rd row is. It can go down here, and you can still push these seats back. It's a little bar right there, and then you can put these up, and yeah, fishing poles are stuck behind there, so I don't really need to do the ceiling mount, so I don't plan on it. Yeah, SR5. So if you guys have any questions, just ask them. I can answer. I mean, I'm pretty well experienced in this installation at this point, because it took me a while to figure it out, because the directions were mush. It's just a lot of blurry pictures and not very good. So as I said before, it says high flying. From Amazon. When I bought it just about a week and a half ago, maybe a week, it ran me $2.99, and that was for the Molle panels on the side and the shelf that runs across. So thanks a lot. See you in the next video.